Yo, what is up YouTube? Lee the Captain here, back again with another YouTube video on nothing other than RSR. And in today's YouTube video, I am going to be talking about why I am so bullish on RSR moving forward and what I think about it. So let's jump straight into the video. First things first, I want to talk about the mainnet launch because let's face it, right? This is all we've been waiting for. This is the much anticipated mainnet launch. And once it actually launches, we can actually start staking our RSR, which is just absolutely fantastic, an amazing source of passive income. And as of right now, the mainnet launch is 97% complete. We are only 3% away. The Reserve Protocol is planning for the mainnet launch to be complete by the end of this year, and that would be so tremendous and fantastic if they can actually stick to that date, because at that point, we RSR holders can actually start staking our RSR. And when I take a look at the price of RSR right now, I think this is a generational buying opportunity. I think especially in the future, people are going to look back at RSR holders right now and say, hey, I can't believe you accumulated RSR at that price. Oh my goodness. Because when I take a look at the future potential of RSR, and I take into consideration RSR staking, and I also take into consideration that in the future, RSR will be linked to the Reserve app that already has an annual volume of over $1.5 billion a year. When I take all that into account and I take a look at these low prices, I think it is just a no-brainer. And yeah, of course, RSR could go lower, but in my opinion, if RSR does go lower, let's say it goes down 50%, 60%, it isn't that bad, especially when you take into consideration that in the future, the potential gains of RSR could be hundreds or even thousands of percent. Risking 50%, 60% loss in the grand scheme of things isn't going to seem so bad after all if the gains, like I mentioned before, is hundreds or even thousands of percent. And when it comes to me, I just keep buying more and more RSR. I don't care if the price goes up or it goes down, I just keep buying more. In fact, I've been buying RSR ever since last year. So a majority of my investment is actually sitting at a loss, but I don't care because I just keep buying more and more RSR. I am focused on RSR in the long term. I am not worried about the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month price movement when it comes to RSR. I am focused on the long term. When I take a look back in history and I look at Bitcoin, at one point Bitcoin was $1, it was $10, it was $1,000, it was $2,000. And last year it was able to reach an all-time high price of $68,000. Just take a look at the Bitcoin holders back then. A 50%, even 80, 90% loss at the time seemed so bad. But as time went on, as Bitcoin kept progressing and went all the way to 68,000, do you think they really cared what price they accumulated Bitcoin at? Be it $10, $20, $100, even $1,000? No, because the gains was so tremendous. And the same principle applies to RSR in my opinion. A 50%, 80% loss as of right now may seem bad, but in the long term, it won't seem so bad after all, because the gains, in my opinion, will be so tremendous. And we've seen it not only with Bitcoin, we've seen it happen with Cardano, with Solana, with Ethereum. Cryptocurrencies are volatile by nature. So 50%, 80% loss is just part of the game, but also understand that part of the game is also getting hundreds or even thousands of percents. Just remember that. And you also have to take into account that as of right now, RSR is extremely oversold. In fact, RSR is 19 times lower than its all-time high price. Let's say someone put $1,000 in RSR right now and RSR were to return back to its all-time high price. They've managed to turn their $1,000 investment into $19,000. That is absolutely insane. And I completely understand how during bear markets, during times of low prices, people can lose motivation. They can be demoralized. But oftentimes people don't understand the opportunity that low prices and bear markets actually provides for them. Because just think about this. Legendary investors like Ray Dalio, like Warren Buffett, how did they attain most of their wealth? They attained most of their wealth through buying during bear markets. When people are selling, they are buying. Bull markets can make people rich, but bear markets can make people wealthy. And as of right now, at least in the short to medium term, the price of RSR is greatly going to be affected by the price of Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin goes up, RSR is also going to go up. Let's say Bitcoin goes down, RSR is also going to go down. And it's not only RSR, right? Every single cryptocurrency as of right now is going to be affected by the price of Bitcoin. And when it comes to Bitcoin, I do have some amazing and bullish news when it comes to that. And amazing news when it comes to Bitcoin is also going to be amazing news when it comes to RSR. And when you take a look at the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve, you will see that as of right now, Bitcoin has never ever been this far below the bottom yellow line in history. That is ridiculous. The only other time Bitcoin has ever even went below that bottom yellow line was during that COVID 2020 crash. And we all know what happened after that. Bitcoin, along with the whole crypto markets, had one of the most euphoric and massive runs in history. And as of right now, Bitcoin is even lower than that COVID 2020 crash point. We could potentially be seeing the biggest run ever. And when you take a look at the strength of the US dollar, it hasn't been this strong since the early 2000s. That is crazy. And also, when you take a look at the correlation between Bitcoin and the strength of the US dollar, historically speaking, every single time the strength of the US dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down in price. However, every single time the strength of the US dollar goes down, the price of Bitcoin goes up. And as of right now, the strength of the US dollar is so strong that it is primed for a major crash. And a major crash when it comes to the strength of the US dollar is going to be amazing news when it comes to Bitcoin and the whole crypto market overall. When I take into account the strength of the US dollar and its correlation to Bitcoin, and I take into account the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve, I think it is a no-brainer as to how big the next bull run will be when it comes to Bitcoin and the whole crypto space in general. So stay strong, RSR holders. We will see each other at the top. We believed in RSR when no one else did, and we will be the ones to enjoy the benefits in the long term. The future of RSR is so amazing. It's so tremendous, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. And that's been it for today's YouTube video. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the video, and make sure to smash that like button. Also, make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest and greatest RSR news and content. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.